What is up, whale shares? So today I want to do a video because I have been spending some time in the Discord thread, the official whale shares Discord thread, and today was kind of cool day because the whale shares token that only exists 21 million coins right now. It got listed on Rudex, which is an exchange in a market where you can buy and sell different coins. And it had a trading pair of BitShares, which is BTS, okay? And this is basically how it looks right now. So market.rudex.org, market Rudex, I think there's a dot, WLS / BTS, okay? So the first thing we can see here, which is kind of fascinating, is because this coin is kind of rare, it was pretty cool to see how, I mean, this is, I feel that we're sort of starting to enter into a pretty cool era where people can create their own coins, right? So this is something that BitShares have been having now for some time, where people can create sort of their own coins on the BitShares network. And we started off with all these cryptocurrencies, these big cryptocurrencies that, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, all these coins that like an average person couldn't really create their own coin or community, or it wasn't really that easy. But now we're starting to see these communities that can sort of create their own coins. So for example, on whaleshares, a lot of witnesses, they have their own coins that you can use to promote something on whaleshares, for example. And now we're starting to see these communities coming together where they can have something scarce, something that they highly value, and they can basically boost up the price, right, by deciding how much they want to sell a specific coin for, basically. So we see it right now, that the lowest ask right now, the latest, was 9 BitShares for 1 whale share. And that's a pretty interesting price, because that is the same amount of price that one Steam at the moment costs. But it's kind of cool because you can see that the community is sort of doing this themselves, that a small group can basically start like a community and get their own thing going, and they can basically create some value, right? Because to create value, you only need a buyer and a seller, right? And you need to be able to generate value, right? So we see right now that with the buyers and the sellers, so we can see that the sellers, at the moment there is 90,000 whale shares being powered down over, I think, 13 weeks, which is around 7,000 whale shares that's going to be released on the market. If people put it on the market, even they might just have it liquid in their account, but 7,000 that people are powering down each week, and a lot of it is probably going to end up on Rudex. And it's fascinating, this exchange, because you can sort of see first the sellers here, they are in the red. You can see the lowest one here, you need to buy here, you need 13.5 BitShares, and then you will be able to get 20. But if you want even more, you can see that most people have aligned themselves pretty higher up here, which sort of means that they sort of value what they have, basically, right? So if we take a look at what people are willing to pay here, we can see that it seems to be pretty stable here at 1 BitShares per a whale share, which is still a pretty nice price. I mean, it's not like it's like 1 cent coin, basically. But people are willing here. This person want to buy 1,000 whale shares for, I think, 1,100 BitShares. Okay, so you can see here even that there's some people that are almost hovering at 1.5 here, which is pretty fascinating also. So Then obviously we see some funny ones over here, but it's kind of cool that you don't need that many people to create a cool thing, right? Because most people is going to hold something, and if you hold something a lot and you just release a little bit out on the market, then you create value because you create this scarce effect that something is rare, right? So what happens is the people in the community, they're probably going to value it more, that they feel that they have something of value and that they don't want to just throw it away. It's something that we see with a lot of other coins, that people just want to throw them away. Like they want to instantly convert it to fiat currency. But this is not something that I see here, which is interesting, right? It's very interesting because when people put a high standard on a community, eventually I think other people are going to buy in the way, in the mentality that, okay, this community really value themselves high, right? So if other people want to buy in, they have to buy in, like, they have to buy at a way higher price if they want to join the fun. And it's interesting with whaleshares compared to Steam blockchain, and I love both places, but compared to the Steam blockchain, it works in some different ways. It doesn't have delegation, but the most fascinating thing is that the scarcity of the coins, that it's way lower supply, which makes it very, very obvious that, I mean, this is pretty scarce. This is pretty cool. It's like, it's just cool, right? Because most of those coins are basically going to be staked. So the amount of liquid coins being in circulation is going to be kind of rare, but that doesn't mean that it's bad, because that means that people in the community is probably just because they probably care, because they don't just want to throw away the coins. That means that they're probably going to care about the community also and be good curators, right? Because if a person didn't care, then they would just sell something instantly. But you can sort of get this fear of missing out effect then, of course, that a lot of people realize, oh my God, this really has value, right? So Steam is going to try to do the same thing, right, with smart media tokens. And I think that it's going to start a revolution when it's getting easier for average people to create their own communities, their own coins, their own niches, and they don't have to look at what anyone else is doing. They can just focus on generating value in their own niche, and when everyone feels that they have some real valuable asset that other people want, like a real demand, I feel like they're going to care more. So it's going to be interesting to see how this market is going to be developed, because compared to Steam, I haven't seen someone with extreme overpowered on whaleshares. The biggest accounts usually is around 100,000 whaleshares, and new users on whaleshares, just because the inflation is pretty nice here in the beginning, they can sort of grow their accounts at a very, very healthy rate. Something that with the Steam blockchain, the way I understood it was that they sort of did this ninja mine thing or something, where I think Steam Inc. got a majority of the coins, basically, and that made the system a little bit different. Now, I don't think these two systems are in competition, because the industry is so big, the cryptocurrency industry is so big. So if someone does something that is amazing, then basically everyone in the whole crypto community is going to benefit. I see that for me personally, whaleshares, they're trying to focus on being more focused in a group, same as a smaller country can be more focused. Let's say Malta, they can do this at the moment. It's blockchain island. They can do that because there's less people, so they can be more focused, right? While a big country, let's say United States, I mean, it's like a bigger machine that has other strengths and weaknesses. Same as a small country has strengths, different strengths and weaknesses. And I sort of see that almost like it's a baby Steam. This whaleshares platform is trying to focus in on some specific things to make moves faster, because whaleshares in many ways they can make moves faster because it's less distraction. When there's less distraction around, you can make moves faster. You can innovate much faster because you're just not distracted. While Steam blockchain, they can focus more on the macro, just on the macro, and they may get more distracted, but they can maybe onboard more users. So both these systems can work together, and it's going to be exciting to see which community that is going to thrive the most. For example, it's going to be interesting to see if you're going to have a video service, for example, in the future on whaleshares. I'm going to love to check out the market on Rudex to see where the price is going to go, and if more people are going to power down. I mean, it's going to take a long time to see where the market is going, but when people can create their own tokens and stuff like that, you can have a more personalized experience with exchanges. Something that these big coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, you just see these massive volumes of money flowing around, like billions of dollars, and or millions of dollars, and you have there's no real community around it. But if you really have a dedicated community, and if the coin is super scarce, but not too scarce, of course, it needs to be the right balance. Like, you need to have an awesome community, for example, on Discord or something, and you also need a drip out so people don't feel it's totally hopeless. And I feel that whaleshares might have hit a sweet spot of not creating too much coins, because you look at Ethereum, it's like 100 million coins, or look at EOS, a billion coins. You look at XRP and it's like 100 billion coins, and it's hard to grasp, it's hard to understand. But and even like, yeah, Bitcoin has a lower supply, but it costs like $6,000 to get one, and they don't have a community, they're not on a graphene blockchain or anything, so it's kind of hard to get access to that coin. So yeah, I think the whaleshares have hit a sweet spot in many ways, and it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to be developed, because I bought Steam at about 1,200 Steam for around $7,500, and even though I paid that in like January, even though I paid a high price, it made me value the currency much more, because I realized, okay, I'm going to have to work a long time with this, because I paid a lot, I invested a lot, and when people buy in a lot, they invest more time and energy, and the whole platform can grow much better. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this currency, how it's going to develop, how the community is going to develop. Nice that it's on the market right now. I'm probably going to leave a link in the description of this whaleshares article, where you can check out the market yourself. It's very easy to get an account, and yeah, but wanted to do this quick video. It's finally on the market. Yeah, have a great day, everyone.